Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that had left a relationship but still felt certain emotional attachments, and it was coming up to the festive season, and they really wanted to feel that they'd got over their ex. They weren't together, they had separated, they'd split up, but at the same time there was a fear that that emotional connection would still draw them back in. So what you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is utilizing some of the festive symbols like trees and lights and decorations as a way of framing the past as the past. And what can happen is that sometimes things are in the past, but they can be felt differently in the moment. And PTSD is a good example of that. Someone can feel really traumatized in a moment for something that happened a decade ago. So therefore, it's still possible to feel certain emotions like connection, even if logically and intellectually you know that that relationship doesn't work and it isn't what you hoped it would be. And this uses a way of framing submodalities. If you're familiar with NLP, one of the ways in which you can shift emotions is by changing the submodalities. So a memory quite often is taken from a first-person perspective. The moment you disassociate and change the color and change the distance, it tends to dial the emotion all the way down. So there's a way of framing memories like black and white photos seen as a distance. That's quite helpful. But also they wanted to feel that this previous relationship was irretrievably broken, that it couldn't get back together again. So there is a metaphor of a glass souvenir, a glass object, breaking, shattering into lots of different pieces. That's going on. And then there's future pacing of seeing a desirable future where they're happy, but also that their ex has moved on too. And that gives them a sense of closure. So there's a bit going on here. I think it would be most useful if you still have feelings for an ex relationship. That will enable you to get more value from this. But at the same time, it might just be that there's emotions not for a previous relationship, but for something else. And that might be a connection to a dream or an idea or a goal or an ambition that, you know, you've decided you don't want to pursue anymore, but there's a bit that wonders like, what if, what could have been, in which case it could be useful for that too. Obviously, this was created for a very specific individual, and not all of the suggestions will correlate with you. Hone into the ones that resonate, ignore anything that don't. But if you do feel like a bespoke session built around your individual circumstances and needs could be helpful, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule that free consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a slow, long, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to release any tension around your eyelids. And in that outward breath, just allow your eyes to close, enabling you to drift off to a place of calm, peaceful tranquility. And when you breathe in that resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to release whatever you're holding on to. Any sadness, any frustration, any overwhelm, any heaviness. Just allow it to leave your body in that outward breath. Just imagine being in a cozy lounge surrounded by festive decorations. I want you to imagine Christmas cards and Christmas lights, a tree. I want you to imagine all the things that you would normally decorate your home with. And maybe there's a feeling of coziness in this room. Perhaps you could imagine a soft, cozy couch. Maybe there's a warmth in the air. And maybe you can even imagine the sound of festive music or carol singers. But just allow yourself to sink into this feeling of festivity. And I want you to imagine, not too far away, are the lights, those festive lights of reds and blues and greens. And maybe they're around a tree, or maybe hanging on the side of a wall or up on the ceiling. But I want you to find one color of light that seems to hold your attention. Just focus on that light intently. And sometimes when you focus on light, it starts to blur. It's still there, but your eyes defocus. And I wonder, as you drift into that warm glow of that particular color of Christmas light, and maybe it twinkles or flickers or holds steady. But imagine as you breathe in and breathe out, your focus deepens, enabling you to drift into a place within your imagination. What if staring into that light makes you think of all the different lights connected? Maybe it's possible to think of your memories as shimmering lights on a line that goes backwards. What if each light holds a memory? Each twinkle guiding you further into a place of calm and quiet reflection. With every breath you take, feel yourself relaxing more and more. The lights begin to blur slightly, and their glow creates a soft haze. And And as you focus on a light or many lights, you might notice how they seem to stretch time, as if pulling you gently into a slower, calmer rhythm of the present moment. And that initial light, the one that got your attention, its glow feels special, as if it holds the key to a journey through time, a journey into acceptance. And as you continue to breathe deeply, the world around you becomes quieter, softer, and you find yourself ready to begin this journey. And as you stare into the light, imagine it takes you back into the past. And that past is filled with black and white photographs. Each picture is a snapshot of a moment in a previous relationship, moments frozen in time. But they're all black and white, and they're all still images. And as you observe them, feel that you're looking at them from a distance, not close. Feel like they're far away, black and white, and still. Like an impartial viewer watching the life of someone that looks like you. See yourself, perhaps in these photos, smiling or lost in a moment, but it now feels like you're disconnected from that version of you. You know it was you, but this is you from the past, and you're not that person anymore. Each photograph is free of emotion, drained of its colors, drained of its intensity. That moment loses its power over you, and you simply see the moments for what they were. Experiences, neutral and detached. Allow any memory of that relationship to appear as a black and white photo. And notice how the emotions tied to these memories fade further and further. The emotions are dialed down, but the wisdom and experiences and insight is dialed all the way up. Allow yourself to extract the lessons and the understanding, and feel that the emotions are just far, far away in your past. And maybe there's a particular memory that was more intense. And as you see that photo, take in that moment, still seeing yourself like someone else. As you realize that positive memories are just one part of the past, there were many other memories of arguments, disagreements, promises made but not kept. This isn't you looking back with rose-tinted glasses as to all the best moments and what could have been. Consider this more dissecting the past to see it for what it really was. A relationship that lacked some of the intensity and passion. Someone that didn't quite have the qualities to make you feel as valued or as important as you wanted. Feel that as you go into the past, you're seeing it for exactly what it was. Each memory you see is one of many, and it feels like you from a long, long time ago. Extract the value from the past without any desire to live there. The grip of these moments lessens and fades with every breath you take. And I want you to imagine standing in front of a single beautiful glass ornament. The ornament might be a large ornament of a person, but it could also represent a symbol that represented that relationship. It could even be a glass ornament of a house, a promise of the future, even a piece of furniture. Everything you shared, every plan, every memory, every dream, feel like it was linked into that glass ornament. And from a distance, the glass ornament looks perfect and precious and desirable. But on closer inspection, you realize that the ornament is cracked, chipped, maybe a severe crack all the way through. That it was the idea of the future that appealed, not its probability and not the reality. And maybe you see that structure as only ever being temporary. It was no longer capable of holding the shape or the weight of what it once did. I want you to imagine holding that ornament in your hands and breathe in a feeling of clear intention. And as you breathe out, allow yourself to drop that glass ornament that represented that previous relationship. Allow it to shatter into 1,000 tiny pieces, fragments scattering across the floor. And you watch as the pieces glisten for a moment, realizing that this can never be repaired. It can never be what it was. And what it was never what it was intended to be. You were holding on to a dream, not a reality. And allow that dream to shatter, giving you all the pieces, the ingredients, as to something that would be desirable for you in your future. Allow yourself to sweep up those tiny pieces, gently throwing them away. But as you do, you feel no sadness, no loss. Instead, imagine feeling an incredible sense of relief, of freedom. The ornament is no longer something to hold on to. It's simply a part of your past, something that served its purpose. I want you to imagine your ex-partner as someone you just used to date. And imagine them in their future, maybe 2 or 3 years in the future, in a new relationship. See them being happy in that new relationship, and you can be happy for them. You can be happy that they found someone for them, and trusting that you will find someone for you. And as you see them in their future, get a sense of absolute clarity. That is not a future that you want. You want a future that is desirable for you and may have echoes of what you used to want, but like anything else, it changes, evolves. As you see those fragments, perhaps in the bottom of a tray or a bin or a box, you feel a great sense of clarity. You see that the plans you once made were not wasted. They were reconnaissance, guiding you to understand what truly matters to you. Those plans were practice, insight, showing you the values, desires, and dreams that you can now carry forward into a future where you thrive. So imagine standing before a vibrant, glowing Christmas tree, where its lights now represent your future, bright, colourful, and full of possibility. And beneath the tree are gifts wrapped in shimmering paper. Each gift contains a lesson learned, a piece of wisdom from your past relationship. So imagine opening the gifts one by one, discovering new insights about yourself, your strength, your resilience, your ability to love and be loved the way you need to. And these lessons fill you with gratitude, knowing they will help you make better decisions, wiser choices. These lessons are gifts, valuable gifts, designed to improve your future. So when you think of your ex-partner, that's what they are. Simply a person you used to date. Their presence in your life was real, but is now over. Finished. Irretrievably broken. Like that shattered glass ornament that you've already swept away. And over the next few days and weeks, if their name ever does come up, you may be surprised to notice how naturally you describe them in the past tense. Someone who was important, but is no longer. Someone who helped you, but is no longer part of your story. And with each thought, they recede further into the distance, becoming a part of your past. A chapter closed, a story complete. And as you stare into the glowing Christmas lights, you imagine your future. A new chapter, but a new chapter free of the baggage of the past, and yet infused with the wisdom and clarity it gave you. You feel lighter, clearer, and more excited about the life you are building. And as the lights begin to fade, you find yourself being called to the present moment, the here and now, feeling that you've psychologically moved on. Getting a sense of closure. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connecting fully into the here and now. As I count from 1 to 10, you will awaken, but you will awaken at the point where your unconscious has closed that chapter, putting your ex firmly in the past. Starting to count 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.